Hey everybody, what's going on? Leopazzo TV. Thanks very much for tuning in. You're looking at the 125-gallon tank built into the wall here in the basement. I just started filling up the tank and now the tank is actually running. I got the pumps going and I'm almost ready to start adding salt to the water and start mixing it up. For the last few days, I've been slowly adding RODI water from the reverse osmosis unit into the tank slowly for a few hours daily. And now the tank is actually full and the sump is full and the pumps are running the tank. And I have two wave makers on either side just to kind of get flow and everything kind of going and circulating and make sure that there are no leaks and adjust all the valves. I also added the heater to the tank when it was slowly starting to fill up, and now that the sump is full and the system's running, I moved that heater from the tank now into the sump filtration system. I have my skimmer which is inside my sump. It is not running and I plan to remove my skimmer so I can add the salt. There's no reason to kind of have the skimmer in there while I'm going to be mixing up salt. So I'm going to be removing my skimmer. I have an extra submergible pump that I'm going to just kind of place in the sump and help me kind of mix around the salt at the same time when I add it to the system. So this is the way that I'm going to be mixing up the salt water for this 125-gallon reef tank along with my 75-gallon sump that's running. I actually do have some thoughts of kind of tying in some sort of larger scale refugium on the side of the tank. I kind of have to make some room. I kind of have to plan it out, but I was thinking about it and I might do it in the near future, but I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. I want to use a gravity feed style refugium, so I can just simply drain water from the display tank in the refugium tank, and then from there, once a refugium tank is full or meets its drain line, it would now drain back into the sump filtration. I want to use gravity to my advantage versus using one or two extra pumps to kind of, for an example, pump water into the refugium and then pump water back out or whatever it is, or maybe just pump water into it and then it would drain out. So I'm kind of just want to use the gravity process to my advantage, minus well, less equipment, less electricity, and if you just kind of think and plan it all out properly, you can actually have a successful system with using less equipment as possible, using less electricity as possible, and whatever else, whatever other benefits that comes along with it. I'm kind of just like plumbing stuff. I kind of want to have more water volume to my system, which is also another benefit by having a larger refugium, and just in general, you know, using less equipment so I can use that other equipment that I have for maybe mixing water or whatever else I want to do, maybe some maintenance or whatever else I have going on. So it's nice to have extra equipment around. In general, right now we're going to hop back into the fish tank room. I'm going to take you guys in there. I'm going to show you the sump filtration system. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's go ahead back there right now and see what's going on the 125-gallon filtration system. So come along with me. I got to go inside here via the fish tank room. Alright, so I'm here in the fish tank room right now. We'll have a look at the sump first. There's the sump filtration. There is the 125-gallon tank there at the top. And what do I show you first? Where do I start? Well, if you haven't seen the sump yet, here's a layout of the sump filtration system. We got 4 chambers, starting first here on the left. I got 2 drains draining in here. I'm going to probably put some filter media along with some rubble live rock for the most part. I'm going to use most likely rubble live rock. That's what I usually use, but I'll also consider some other media. I could add a filter sock, but I haven't in the past. I might add a filter sock. I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to kind of just play it by ear, see what I want to do. I've been tinkering with this tank for the last few days. So after the first chamber, we got the skimmer. The skimmer's not on, no need to have it on. I just kind of placed it, and along with making that stand just so the skimmer can be sitting at the approximate depth, from my understanding was approximately about 7 to 10 inches or so. So that skimmer is in the correct depth of water. And after the skimmer, we do have this refugium chamber here that I've used as a refugium chamber in the past. I may not use it as a refugium chamber. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in there. I could also put some reactors or whatever other equipment or pumps, some other filter media. I can also add it in there. And I have my submergible return pump. So here's the submergible return pump. I believe it's the Mag 9 or something like that they call it. And then we have the external return pump right there. I've noticed that the output from this submergible return pump, when it comes to the tank here onto the left hand side, it's not that powerful. So I can kind of see when I put my hand in front of it, I can see that it's not that powerful. So I can see me wanting to swap out this return pump right here for something a little bit more powerful. I just like a lot of flow in my tank. I also have the two wave makers, as I mentioned before. One's on that side, one's on that side. So as I said, I want to mix up my salt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just conveniently place my salt in here and let it mix up. And that's why I have this extra submergible pump that I usually use to mix water. I'm just going to place that inside this chamber along with the salt. I'm using the Fritz salt. I just picked it up here a few days ago on Boxing Day from the local fish store. So it's the Fritz RPM, I believe it's called. My first time using it. I'll let you know how it goes. I plan to get a few more boxes, and I'm just going to place it in there and let the pump help it mix it up. And if I need, I'll get the pump and put it into each chamber to kind of like get it mixing, and then from there it will go to my tank. And then from my tank we got the wave makers. I'll place one probably on the higher end and definitely one on the lower end to kind of sweep up any of the salt that might kind of want to sit at the bottom. Alright, so that's the overall game plan. The temperature, I just checked it and it is still at like 72. So I know I was gonna wait to add the salt, but you know what, I'm here. The holidays are coming close to an end. I figured I might as well do it right now. But all in all, this is what's up. I still got to adjust my auto top off, and there's a few other things that I wanted to mention about my refugium. So I do have a T right here coming off my drain that I could use, or I have used in the past, for a refugium tank that was here at the side, but it was only like a 10-15 gallon tank. It wasn't really that big, so I used that as a refugium and kind of this as a refugium, or like a little holding tank for an example for other like new fish or whatnot. But the fact that it's on this side doesn't really convenient me that much, because I don't know, I guess I have a kind of a little bit of junk over here in storage and boxes and whatnot. So I would like to take up this space over here for sure. I would love to take up this real estate here where I used to have my frag tank. And you can see that you can still have these LED lights here, which I may be able to use it to my advantage. From my understanding, they still worked. So maybe I can use those lights even for like my refugium tank. But over here is not going to cut it. It's too small. Over there I got a bunch of junk, and I don't really think it's that great because it kind of blocks the entrance of coming in here. Sorry guys about the mess, but this is what it is. What was I thinking? Where can I get some more room? Well, if I move these storage bins here with fish tank equipment and stuff, then I can kind of place maybe a tank or two over here in layers. So one tank draining to the next tank. I don't know. I'm kind of like, might as well just use this wall here. I got like at least 4 or 5 feet right there to the switches. I got like almost like 7 feet tall. I might as well kind of use this to my advantage. So what I'm thinking is getting some kind of hose, sucking water from the, just gravity fed, sucking water from the overflow box. It's going to gravity feed somehow, maybe take a tighter angle somewhere over here, come into this tank, which would be the refugium tank. And then at the bottom of the refugium tank, I can drain that simply back over here somehow, not somehow, but basically, and then back down over here into the first chamber. So that is also another idea. If I didn't want to go back to the first chamber, I can go into either one of the other chambers, but I might as well just send it back over to the first chamber to get filtered out, because if it's going to be sucking water from the tank and then going to the refugium and then gravity feeding back to the sump, I might as well bring it back to the first chamber so that water can get filtered as well, again, if it hasn't already. So that's the game plan. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Raw video, Leopazzo Productions. Appreciate you guys tuning in. You already know, if you want to see this tank build go a long way, stay tuned and subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, concerns in the comment section down below. I got lots of stuff going on, man. Stay tuned, man. I'll keep you guys posted. Peace.